adventure into one's view of the world, and tonight, we will see how the imageries of history, culture, and the arts has inspired our featured designer into creating several collections that display our unique Filipino heritage, capturing the attention of the global fashion industry. But before that, please allow me to call on stage to do the acknowledgement of country Gamilaray Elder Ontiverio Binoclu.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. But as the lad said, I'm a Gamilaray lady from Walgett, New South Wales, but I've been in Sydney since I was 16 years of age. And within just saying that, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, our 29 other clans within the Sydney region, our past and present elders, and our future generations. Say a very warm welcome to you all tonight. And it's been an honour for me to do this because I have a big relationship with the Filipino family. My friend Deborah Ruth Ball has been my friend for 40 odd years. And not only that, the Aboriginal people and the Filipino people have had a relationship since 1869. So we go back a long way. So I'm very happy to be here. And my friend who is an author, she also wrote a book and lived with the Aboriginal people up in Broome and the Northern Territory and all over the Kimberleys. And it's called Re-Imaging. So it's about the traditional Filipinos that first came to Australia and our mob in Australia as well. So within saying that, once again, a very, very warm welcome to you all and enjoy your night. Thank you.
Another warm round of applause for Ontiverio. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Friends, there are powerful constructs that the mind can think of, dream of. But it's the action, effort, and passion to persevere and make things happen that makes a dream into a reality. What you see here wouldn't have happened if not for the strength and perseverance of this lady who I am about to call in now a dear colleague and friend as well. Please welcome the editor-in-chief of Money Magazine and one of the driving forces behind TPK 2019. Make some noise for Michelle Baltazar.
Thank you, Gio. Thank you, everyone, and a very warm welcome. Thank you once again, Ontiverio, for doing the acknowledgement of country. Ontiverio was there with us last year when we did our first Tuloy Po Kayo. Tuloy Po Kayo is a Filipino phrase that says, please come in, you're welcome. And it's really a way for us, Filipino Australians, to showcase what the Philippine heritage is about. And it really warms my heart that you're all here, despite our little seating problems earlier, I apologize. But you are going to have a great night, I promise you. And once again, thank you all for coming tonight. So tonight wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. This is a community project to start with. Tuloy Po Kayo Cultural Expo is really brought together by 4 organizations: Plaza Filipino, NARA Cooperative, Adhika Inc., and Flagcom. And this year, we are joined by another Filipino-Australian group known for their social dancing, the Hot Mamas. So they were our ushers that had to deal with the stress of sitting people when you can't see the seats. All right, and thank you to our major partners, Massimo Morello from Style Academy. Yes. Liz Angeles and Len Puzon from Mega World International. I think Anisha is here from MoneyGram. Katerina Neshi from Latrobe Financial. And the Clark family from iTravel. Thank you so much.
It's really amazing how you all have put together this fashion event.
Yes.
And what's more amazing are the stories behind the collections of our featured designer tonight.
Well, I'd like to welcome backstage. We've been talking about him on social media.
Yeah.
The one and only
John Herrera!
Hello everybody, good evening. Thank you for coming out. And good evening to you, Michelle and Marta, Gio. Sorry, sinners. Okay, so welcome to our fashion show. This show will feature 3 of my collections. One is we start off with the Aguila, which is my winning collection from Britain's Top Designer 2017, and then we move on to my first London Fashion Week show. I picked up my favorites. It's the Armada, and then we finish off with my bridal show last November in London at the Philippine Embassy.
And John, you're telling me that this is a world first. This is your biggest collection to date. So
Yes.
how many outfits are you going to show tonight?
We are showing 38 looks for tonight, and we are showing it's really unprecedented from my career of 15 years, and we traveled with so many boxes. It's crazy. So just to bring them here is really, to show them to you guys is really a feat in itself.
Now we were talking about the Aguila or Eagle collection. Can you tell us just briefly how that came about?
Well, I've always been a big fan of the Philippine Eagle, and I've always, heard how it's still endangered up to this day. I mean, when I was in grade school, our teachers would tell us, "Oh, it's endangered," and it's a national bird. And yeah, I found out a lot about it, and I've been a very big fan of it aesthetically because I think it's very beautiful. So it started with a print. Print right here.
This print right here as well.
Yes, as well. It started with that print. I started to design a print based on the images of the Philippine Eagle. And then I decided to turn it into a collection. And then one thing led to another. And I was showing the collection for the first time in London at Britain's Top Designer competition, where I competed with a handful of fashion designers, all very talented, and I was lucky enough to take home the prize. And Vogue UK picked up the collection. And then when I got back, I got a phone call from the Philippine Eagle Foundation. So now not only did the collection shine a light on this very important topic of why haven't we done anything to save the Philippine Eagle, and from that, we were able to, now it's the cause and the advocacy of my company. Parts of the sales of the Philippine Eagle collection goes directly to the Philippine Eagle Sanctuary in that house.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really amazing if you get an opportunity to meet John. He's very humble, and he was just sharing that he won the best designer at Britain's Fashion Week. So we should give him a round of applause for that. That was
Yes. Britain's Top Designer
Not just once.
2017, yes.
right. The next collection that you're going to feature tonight is the Armada collection. Can you briefly talk about this?
This was
collection?
inspired by, the Armada collection was inspired by the Spanish invasion of the Philippines in 1521, and I just picked up from there, and you will see a lot of colors and images that are almost, in London they call it Elizabethan, but it's not actually, it's inspired by King Philip himself.
Yeah.
Because the guy can dress. The guy can really dress, so yeah, it's inspired by him, most of all, King Philip II, the namesake of our country. And I can talk at length about how much I know about the history and the invasion of the Philippines, but I don't want to bore you to death, so let's just get on.
We'll leave that for the after party, shall we? So the last collection is one that excites all of the ladies. because it's about walking down the aisle. So the question is, how do you infuse history in the creation of your bridal?
Oh, the last collection is the bridal collection, Doc Sueño. It's Spanish for dream and dreaming and craving and just lusting. I started designing this collection, this bridal collection, inspired by nudity and the art of being naked, from the French word déshabillé. And I just picked up from there, and you will see a lot of skin for bridal, and it's very risque even, but I hope you can see the authenticity of the intention, which is really brides are not supposed to be just objects of, something that looks very maternal, but they can also be very sexy.
Ooh, I like that.
Now, I've noticed that you're a little bit of a history buff, and you know a lot about history. What makes history so romantic for you?
I love history because, aside from, unlike Game of Thrones, the story's ending is always better written than the ones created by those dumbasses. But anyway.
Dracarys.
Oh, I love that one.
I think that's my cousin. Anyway, but also because I love showing in places where there is a big historical significance. The beauty about this venue is this is the Cell Block Theater, constructed in 1837. And what's amazing about this is a place where they incarcerate women criminals, women. And now it has come full circle because women are back here by choice, and they're owning the runway. They are empowered, they're beautiful, amazing women, and they hold that space. And I think it's rather marvelous that we get to do that now. I showed in London Fashion Week at Freemasons Hall, and for 500 years no women were allowed to enter that building because the Freemasons Guild is solely by men. And I brought that up in London Fashion Week. That's why even Freemasons Hall got to feature the collection, because not only are women allowed to be in the vicinity, but now they're owning the entire place in a few seconds. They're empowered women, and they're showing themselves strutting down the runway, and they own it. And how amazing is that?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, John. This is definitely an incredible night to celebrate 121st of the Philippine Independence Day. Yes! And so, hashtag Pinoy Pride. John, why don't you introduce tonight's fashion presentation?
First of all, I would like to thank everyone who came out, the producers, Michelle, Marcus, Chi, and everyone who's helped out backstage, from the catering to the security and everyone who helped make this event what it is tonight. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and here it is, our collection, Armada, Aguila, and Sueño. Have a good night.
Michelle Baltazar, who has some names of VIPs to bring up on stage.
Thank you so much. We really just want to say thank you to everyone who's attended the show. And we just want to have a memorable photo op with our partners. Katerina Neshi, please come on stage. Kat, Len, who's on? And once again, thank you to all our VIPs. There is a chance to meet and greet with John after the show. And there's some canapes left, so please do drive safely if you're going home. And if not, please come join us for the after party. Thank you so much, everyone. Just Jackie Clark from I Travel. Thank you guys. It's not a Filipino event without the photos, so I just wanted to call Liz Angeles, please, for our photo op. John, would you like to say a few words?
Just thank you for coming.